This is our final lesson in learning to think like a Roman. In it, we will learn how to identify the declension of a Latin adjective. First of all, let's learn to be able to identify the adjective when we see it on a vocabulary list. Latin adjectives are listed by their nominative forms on a vocabulary list. Take a look at this short list of adjectives. What I want you to notice are the endings on each of the nominative forms. The masculine nominative forms seem to always end with the letter R or US. As we look at the feminine forms, we notice that they all end with the letter A, and the neuter forms all end with the letter UM. These are the hallmarks of first and second declension adjectives. Because these are adjectives that belong to first and second declension, they will use the same endings as first and second declension nouns. Whether they use first declension endings or second declension endings will depend upon the noun that they are describing. We will be talking more in-depthly about how adjectives describe nouns later on in our course. For now, remember that an adjective must have the same ending as the noun it describes. Now let's turn our thoughts to third declension adjectives and how we will identify them. First of all, let's look at how they appear different on a vocabulary list from first and second declension adjectives. All first and second declension adjectives have three forms, just like celer, celeris, and celera have three forms. But notice that celer and acer have feminine forms that end with is and neuter forms that end with e. This is unlike first and second declension adjectives, which have a on feminine forms and on neuter forms. If you see an adjective on a vocabulary list with three nominative forms, always make sure to examine the feminine and neuter nominative forms. If you do not see the letters a and then you know you have found a third declension adjective. Now let's take a look at the next set of adjectives on the list: similis, omnis, and fortis. Notice that there are only two nominative forms that are associated with these three adjectives. One of the forms is listed for both the masculine and the feminine nominative, and the other it goes with the neuter nominative. The fact that there are only two forms and not three automatically makes it a third declension adjective. Now let's take a look at the final three adjectives on the list: ingens, ferox, and par. We should notice that these three adjectives have only one nominative form listed for all three genders, and then they have a genitive form. The takeaway here is that there are only two forms, and because of that, it is a third declension adjective, just like everything else on the list. What does it mean to be a third declension adjective? It means that when it is time to add endings to that adjective, it can only use endings that are the same as the third declension noun endings. As I said, we will be learning more this semester regarding how adjectives describe nouns that are not from the same declension they are in. Do you think that you can identify the declension of an adjective? If not, you'll want to go back and listen to this video again. If you are certain that you can do that, then move forward in the lesson and answer the questions that follow this video.